how the people who threw the party knew the house would be empty.
And now, your Storm Center 7 forecast with meteorologist Robert Gauthreaux III.
Robert, looking at some temperatures, maybe in some spots, upper 50s tomorrow morning before all of a sudden the temperature does this, huh?
Yeah, I think that's really possible. In fact, I was looking at our low temperature tonight here in Dayton, and I decided just to do it. I'm going to bring our low down to 59 degrees. Not everyone will reach the 50s. I think a lot of us will still stay in the 60s, but I definitely think some 50s will be out there. We're definitely cooler now than this time yesterday. You can see an 11-degree difference over there in Indiana, 4 degrees cooler than this time last night in Dayton. And if you head up toward, say, Champaign County or even Clark County, you're looking at temperatures 10 degrees cooler, 11 degrees cooler there. So it is a cooler night. One big reason for that is because of the low humidity. When there's less moisture in the air, it allows that temperature to drop. And so the temperature can't drop any lower, say, than the dew point temperature. So as we expect a drier night, we can expect a cooler night too. Temperatures now still hanging on to the 70s in Dayton. It's 72 degrees here, but you can see many places are already in the 60s. It's already 66 in Urbana, so I would imagine several places will be in the 50s once we get a little bit deeper into the night, closer to say 2 or 3 a.m. So it might be a nice night to open the windows, because it's going to be hot again as we move really as soon as tomorrow. It's going to be a bit hotter, maybe not as humid as it was, but there will be a touch more humidity. And then it looks like Saturday will be another hot one. So winds are still generally out of the north, but they have more of an easterly component to them than, say, 5 hours ago. So coming out of the northeast, you still have generally cooler air, but as those winds begin to shift, likely tomorrow, you're going to start to introduce more warm air from the south, a little bit more humidity, and then it's going to be pretty hot moving into Saturday. We're looking at heat indices probably near 100 degrees, and that's typically what the Weather Service needs to issue another heat advisory. So I'm not saying there will be one, but we're going to have to be on the lookout for one in case it does get that hot. So I was talking about dew points. The dew points tell us how much moisture is in the air. So if you look in the morning sometimes, that relative humidity might be near 80% or something, even if it's not a muggy day. And then in the afternoon down to 40. It changes a lot during the day. The dew point more or less stays constant, and that tells us how much moisture is in the air. And so with dew points in the 40s and the 50s, it feels still pretty comfortable outside. And over the next several hours, you can see temperatures, I think, dropping near 50 degrees, just barely in the upper 50s, before we warm back up to the upper 80s into the afternoon tomorrow. Still sunny, a touch more humidity, might feel a little bit more sticky. It already feels just a tiny bit stickier right now than it was several hours earlier, but we're going to see that humidity increase a bit tomorrow, more so as we move into Saturday. So one reason for the wind change, the shifts, you can see that area of high pressure was over here over Indiana. It's moved up a little bit to the northeast, and so it's still introducing generally northerly winds, but there's a little bit more of an easterly component than there was earlier. And so despite that, or with that high pressure being so close, we generally have clear skies across the region. So hopefully a good night to see those planets outside. It looks like it will be. Here's a look at the afternoon. Friday looking clear, Saturday morning looking clear, and then even Saturday afternoon. But as we get into Sunday, another cold front comes through. That'll be welcome because it'll bring some cooler air, not just with the rain, but the cooler air behind a cold front. And you'll see we start off next week in the 80s, several more nights in the 50s. Right now, not looking at a great chance for severe weather or anything on Sunday, but could be a couple passing storms. We'll have to watch as we get a little bit closer.
Thank you, Robert. Former Ohio State head football coach Jim Trussell is planning